Hello, Michael Grasso with Private Pook Games. Today, what's on my table? KINFIRE Chronicles Night's Fall. Though I should say it's not currently on my table, it is going to be on my table. Because what I wanted to try today for what's on my table, which, for those of you who don't know, is just an excuse for me to talk about games that might have been out for a while. I know we're also obsessed with the cult of the new, and it's impossible to always have the newest stuff to review in every occasion, so sometimes I want to talk about games that maybe you've already heard about, and I just want to share my thoughts on them and about how I'm feeling about them right now. Not when they initially came out and we're all excited. How am I feeling about it now? And I wanted to do that with KINFIRE Chronicles, and I wanted to try it in a unique way. I want to test how easy this game is to set up by talking to you about it while I'm setting it up. This will test two things. Test one will be, can I focus on anything while setting up a board game? I can tell you already the answer is probably no, but let's do it anyway. And test two will be, is this game easy enough to set up that I can kind of do it on autopilot, even though it's been put away for at least 2 weeks? I'm definitely interested to see that, so let's talk about KINFIRE Chronicle while we are setting it up. Alright, so we have the box, and I'm going to start by pointing out something awesome, which is this magnetic box is just the bee's knees. I love the fact that this part comes off. You have your main board playing area and some places to track some of the stats. That is just an awesome decision for a game where the packaging really does play in well. So as I'm putting this through, like I said, I want to make sure I can set this up without thinking too much about it. So I'm going to talk to you about the fact that when I originally tried this game, I was pretty cool on it. The card play felt a little just odd to me. It felt just like you're taking cards, you're taking battle cards, you're trying to do damage with it. I believe this is a safe one to show. That shouldn't be a spoiler since it's the first quest. And, oh, look at me. It didn't pack it away as well as I thought. But the thing about it is, once you accept that the cards and the deck building basically doesn't give you a ton of different options, then you can kind of appreciate the fact that this is a game where, in its simplicity, it still has some good decisions to be made. You still have to look at your positioning. It has some of that tactical stuff in it. And yes, it has things like a draw bag, where that determines the order of turns, and which I like to think of it as it's kind of like what they do with the turn order deck in Aeon's End, except instead of having 6 cards in it, it has I can't even remember. I think it's like almost 20, something like that. So it really makes it so you can have these big moments of fortune, and then you can have these moments where the enemy goes like 7 times in a row. It's not that often it happens, but it can happen. And when it does, I'm not going to lie, it can be pretty frustrating. So I'm going to put those are the enemy counters. I'm sure I will need some. I will need you. These are some of my tokens and things I've gained in the game. So what you're seeing here also is a little bit about my storage system for how I kept all of these. Oh, there's all of my tokens for my draw bag. My draw bag is tucked right into, I'm going to show you a little bit of this. It was tucked right into here. Let's see, I already have these ones in here. So if you look at it, it's like there's all these different ones you can pull out, but think about how many of these could be your hero, and then how many of them could be enemy tokens. All the ones with numbers or that symbol are enemy tokens. That means the bad guys can get a lot of turns in a row, and then you can get a lot of turns in a row. So, not necessarily bad, but if there was any element of swinginess in the game, I would say that would be it. That goes over here. That's the Destiny bag. I have my 3 heroes, who are definitely different. Not that different, which means, depending on who you pick, it doesn't really make the game particularly difficult, which is good. But it also means that you're not going to pick a different character and feel like, oh, I can totally re-experience this again. So I obviously don't know quite yet how this is going to work, but I have a feeling that when I'm done with this game, I am not going to be super stoked to replay it. I'm just not going to be really jonesing for that. Now, maybe I will be wrong. Maybe I will be wrong and I'll really enjoy it. And I'm going to keep this, actually, guys. Normally I would put this to the page I was on, but just in case someone wants to read closely, do not want anyone to go ahead and look at that quest booklet and have one of their quests ruined. I know I'm on quest 7 right now, as you can see. Or maybe you can see. But I know another thing is, like, as you're going through the game, there's lots of powering up. I'm the kind of person who I love campaign games. It's very rare that I won't try a campaign game. So I do like how this one progresses. I have noticed that you'll get power-ups in it, and sometimes those power-ups will be very similar. You'll get new cards to build your decks with, and it'll include, you know, you'll get one that's supposed to be a power-up, and oh, that's a card that was already in another character's deck. And that's not necessarily bad. It's nice to see that there's some, I don't know if I want to call it verisimilitude, but, you know, there's a little bit of crossover, and there's different ways you can experiment with things. But once again, it plays into the whole idea that the characters have their own individual, you know, special skills. They have certain colors of cards they can keep in their deck notated here. But it also means that, you know, I'm playing with Fane, and if I give him a ranged attack, it's not all that different from how Valora is going to use a ranged attack. On the other hand, if I have a melee attack, is it really going to be that different from Naz's? Sometimes little bits of it, but not always. So that's the key stuff. So far, not too bad. And I actually just realized these are the ones I'm not using. That's how you know I haven't played this in a while. So let's see. Do I have anything else? Oh, yes. The loot chest. I don't want to put too much in it, but it's got the void box and a couple other things. Nope, I don't need this for the quest, so we're all good. I can actually leave that in the box. There's plenty of room for it, which I've got to say is usually not what happens with games like this. And let's see, I was on quest 7, so I'm going to pull. I want you guys to see this, because this is really good the way it is. I can actually go in here and I can pull quest 7, the box for it, out. I don't want to damage it. Like I said, not a ton of replayability, so I might resell this one. There we go. And boom. Obviously, I'll open up 7 and get some things out of it, but this is essentially what putting this game together is. I have my decks. I could shuffle them, and at some point in time, I'm going to want to take these. I'm going to want to take these acrylic standees, and I'm going to want to apply them to not the Battle 1 map. It's probably going to be page 7, but I don't want to show that far ahead. I don't want to show anything past what the first battle would be. But that's really what's going on in this. It's super easy to set up. It is, you know, I'm a guy who really loves complex tactical games. This is not a complex tactical game. This is a friendly, inviting tactical game. It has a cool campaign. I don't sense it's going to have replayability, and from what I've seen in other reviews, other folks who have completed it don't see it as having a ton of replayability. But wow, this is easy to set up, and I'll tell you, if there's anything I can say, I love campaign games. I find them to be some of the best games there are, but if there was anything I was going to complain about, it's that setting them up can take some time. So that's it for KINFIRE Chronicles Night's Fall. What's about to be on my table is now on my table. Thank you so much for listening and watching. If you can, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe, keep the channel doing well, and thank you so much.